Have you ever found yourself drawn back to the same kind of person, the one who lights up your world one moment and shatters it the next? You promise yourself it's the last time that you've learned your lesson, but then there they are again, or someone just like them, pulling you into that familiar whirlwind of passion and pain. It's exhausting, isn't it? That cycle of hope, heartbreak, and starting over. If you're nodding along right now, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world, especially in fast-paced places like the United States, where relationships can feel as disposable as a swipe on a dating app, get trapped in this loop. But here's the good news. There's a way out, and it doesn't involve endless therapy sessions or waiting for the right person to magically appear. It comes from an ancient philosophy that's as relevant today as it was in the Roman Empire, Stoicism. Welcome to LABE Stoic, where we dive deep into the timeless wisdom of Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca to empower you in your modern life. Today, we're tackling a topic that hits close to home for so many: why you keep loving people who hurt you, and how Stoics break the cycle. This isn't just about understanding the why, though we'll explore the psychological and biological reasons that keep you hooked. It's about arming yourself with practical tools to reclaim your emotional freedom, build resilience, and love in a way that's healthy, intentional, and aligned with your true self. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a clearer mind, a stronger heart, and the motivation to apply these principles right away. Let's break it down step by step, starting with the harsh reality of toxic love and ending with the Stoic path to liberation. Picture this. You're in your mid-22nd, fresh out of college, navigating the bustling streets of New York City or the sunny vibes of Los Angeles. You've got a decent job, a circle of friends, and dreams of building a life with someone who gets you. Then you meet them, charismatic, exciting, full of promises. The chemistry is electric. Every text lights up your day. But soon, the red flags appear. Inconsistent communication, emotional outbursts, or worse, outright manipulation. You feel the hurt, but instead of walking away, you rationalize it. They're just stressed. You tell yourself things will get better. Months later, you're crying on a friend's couch, vowing never again. Yet, a year passes, and you're in the same spot with a different face. This isn't a rare story. It's an epidemic in our society. According to relationship experts and psychologists, patterns like this stem from deep-seated emotional habits formed in childhood or past experiences. But why do we keep going back? Why does the pain feel almost addictive? The answer lies in a mix of emotional illusions, those tricks our minds play on us, and biological wiring that's evolved to keep us bonded, even when it's harmful. We'll unpack that soon. For now, know this. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control who enters our lives or how they behave, we can control our responses, our perceptions, and our choices. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This mindset shift is the key to breaking free. Think about Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled an empire while battling personal demons and betrayals. In his Meditations, he reflects on the futility of chasing external validations, including toxic relationships. He reminds us to focus on what's within our power, our judgments, our virtues, and our pursuit of a good life. In today's world, where social media bombards us with idealized romances and quick fixes, Stoicism offers a grounded alternative. It doesn't promise fairy tale endings. It promises inner peace, no matter the storm. But let's be real, breaking the cycle isn't easy. It requires honesty with yourself, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, and consistent practice. That's why this video is structured to guide you gently but firmly. First, we'll explore why you're attracted to people who hurt you, diving into the psychological traps like attachment styles and unresolved trauma. Then, we'll uncover the emotional illusions and biological reasons that make letting go so hard. Think dopamine highs and evolutionary instincts gone awry. Finally, we'll show you how Stoics wake up from this toxic love, with actionable steps inspired by ancient wisdom that you can apply today. If you've ever felt stuck in a relationship that drains your energy rather than fuels it, this is for you. Maybe you're in one right now, or perhaps you're healing from the last. Either way, Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about recognizing that true love starts with self-love, and that by loving wisely, you honor your own potential. As Seneca put it, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Those imagined futures with the wrong person, their illusions keeping you chained. It's time to shatter them. Throughout this journey, remember, you're capable of change. The Stoics believed in the power of reason and virtue to transform lives, and modern science backs it up. Neuroplasticity shows our brains can rewire patterns with effort. So, grab a notebook, pause if you need to reflect, and let's embark on this path together. By embracing Stoic principles, you'll not only stop loving those who hurt you, but start loving yourself in a way that attracts genuine connection. Stay tuned as we dive deeper. Your empowered future starts now. Now that we've set the stage in the introduction, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Why do you keep attracting and loving people who hurt you? This isn't about blame or self-pity. It's about understanding the invisible forces at play so you can reclaim your power. As Stoics like Epictetus remind us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. In relationships, those views often stem from deep-rooted patterns that feel natural, but are anything but. By shining a light on them, we begin the Stoic journey of self-mastery, recognizing what's within our control and letting go of the rest. Let's break this down, exploring the psychological traps, past influences, and emotional habits that keep you stuck, all while weaving in Stoic wisdom to inspire change. First, consider the role of familiarity in attraction. Humans are creatures of habit, wired to seek out what's known, even if it's painful. If you grew up in a household where love was intertwined with criticism, neglect, or volatility, perhaps a parent who was affectionate one day and distant the next, you might subconsciously equate that chaos with connection. Psychologists call this repetition compulsion, a concept rooted in Freudian theory, but echoed in modern attachment research. It's like your inner compass points toward the storm because calm feels foreign and unexciting. In the United States, where individualism reigns and therapy culture is booming, many people recognize this intellectually but struggle to break free emotionally. Why? Because familiarity breeds comfort, even in discomfort. Take Sarah, a fictional but all too real example, based on countless stories shared in self-help forums and therapy sessions. Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing executive in Chicago, keeps dating partners who are emotionally unavailable. Her father was a workaholic who rarely showed affection, so she learned to chase approval through overachieving. Now, in adulthood, she finds herself drawn to men who mirror that charming at first, but ultimately detached. Each time, she thinks, "This one will be different. I'll make it work." But Stoicism challenges this illusion. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. Sarah's injury isn't just from her partners, it's from her unchecked expectation that they should fill a void only she can address. By practicing Stoic reflection, journaling daily about her attractions, she could start seeing these patterns not as fate, but as choices ripe for change. This leads us to attachment styles, a key psychological framework that explains much of our relational woes, developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. Attachment theory posits that early interactions with caregivers shape how we bond as adults. There are 4 main styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. If you're anxiously attached, craving closeness, but fearing abandonment, you might cling to hurtful partners, interpreting their inconsistency as a challenge to win them over. Avoidantly attached folks, on the other hand, might attract anxious types, creating a push-pull dynamic that's thrilling but toxic. In a country like America, where divorce rates hover around 40 to 50% and hookup culture thrives via apps like Tinder, these mismatched attachments fuel endless cycles. But Stoicism offers a counterpoint: detachment from outcomes. Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control. What's up to us, our efforts, perceptions, versus what's not others' behaviors. Instead of fixating on changing a partner, focus on your own virtue. Are you being kind, just, and wise in your choices? If not, you're perpetuating the hurt. Imagine applying this to dating. Before swiping right, pause and ask, does this align with my values? Or am I chasing a familiar high? This simple Stoic pause can disrupt the autopilot of attraction. Another layer is the allure of potential over reality. We often fall for who someone could be, not who they are. This savior, complex or fixer-upper mentality is rampant, especially among empathetic individuals who derive self-worth from helping others. You see their wounds, maybe addiction, anger, issues, or insecurity, and think your love can heal them. But as Seneca warned, while we are postponing life, it is speeding by. Pouring energy into fixing someone else robs you of your own growth. In the U.S., where self-improvement is a billion-dollar industry, this irony is stark. We're obsessed with personal development, yet waste it on unworthy pursuits. Consider the story of Alex, a 28-year-old teacher from Austin, Texas. Alex repeatedly dates partners with untreated mental health issues, believing his support will turn things around. Each relationship ends in burnout, leaving him resentful. Through a Stoic lens, Alex could practice amor fati, loving fate, by accepting people as they are, not as projects. Marcus Aurelius advised, adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and love sincerely the fellow creatures with whom destiny has ordained that you shall live. This doesn't mean staying in toxicity. It means choosing relationships that enhance, not erode, your character. Unresolved trauma plays a massive role too. Past hurts, abuse, betrayal, or loss can create trauma bonds, where pain becomes bonded with love. Neurochemically, this mimics addiction. The highs of reconciliation after conflict release feel good chemicals, making the cycle hard to break. In America, with rising awareness of mental health post-pandemic, more people are seeking therapy, but Stoicism provides a complementary tool, premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. By visualizing potential heartbreaks in advance, you build resilience, reducing the shock when red flags appear. Moreover, societal pressures amplify these attractions. In a culture that romanticizes bad boys or drama queens through movies like The Notebook or songs glorifying turbulent love. We're conditioned to see pain as passion. Social media exacerbates this, showcasing curated highlights that make healthy relationships seem boring. But Stoics cut through the noise. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Live by virtues like temperance and courage, and you'll naturally attract those who do the same." Low self-esteem is another culprit. If you don't value yourself, you'll tolerate mistreatment, mistaking it for what you deserve. This self-sabotage stems from internal narratives "I'm not good enough" reinforced by past failures. Stoicism combats this with self-examination. Seneca urged, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Start with yourself. Cultivate inner worth through daily disciplines like exercise, reading, or meditation. As your self-respect grows, so does your boundary setting." Cultural factors in the U.S. add complexity. With mobility, high people moving for jobs, leaving support networks, loneliness spikes, making us cling to any connection. Economic stresses, like the gig economy's instability, can push us toward partners for security, even if they're harmful. Yet Stoicism teaches equanimity. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Apply this to love, want quality over quantity. Finally, cognitive biases, like confirmation bias, keep us hooked. We ignore evidence of hurt, focusing on positives to confirm our investment. Sunk cost fallacy, "I've put in so much time," traps us further. Stoic wisdom counters with rational inquiry. Question your assumptions daily. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In summary for this section, the reasons you attract hurtful people are multifaceted: familiarity, attachment styles, potential fixation, trauma, societal influences, low self-esteem, and biases. But remember, knowledge is power only when acted upon. Stoicism isn't passive, it's proactive. By recognizing these patterns, you're taking the first step toward freedom. In the next parts, we'll explore the biological underpinnings and how to break free. You're not doomed to repeat history, you're empowered to rewrite it. Keep going. Your Stoic strength is awakening. Let's expand on attachment styles with more depth. Secure attachment, the healthiest, comes from consistent caregiving, leading to confident bonding. But if you're anxious, you might send double texts, overanalyze silences, and stay with hurtful partners to avoid abandonment fears. Avoidant types suppress needs, attracting pursuers who amplify the drama. Disorganized attachment, often from abusive backgrounds, mixes fear and desire, creating erratic relationships. Research from the American Psychological Association shows about 50% of adults have insecure attachments, correlating with higher divorce rates. Stoically, view attachments as impressions to be tested. Epictetus: "What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about the things." Judge your attachments rationally. Is this serving my virtue? On trauma bonds. They're like Stockholm Syndrome in romance. The intermittent reinforcement, good days amid bad mirrors, slot machines, keeping you pulling the lever. Dr. Patrick Carnes's work on betrayal bonds highlights how this erodes self-trust. Stoics counter with voluntary discomfort. Practice solitude to build independence. Societal romanticization. Hollywood's trope of love conquering all ignores reality. Think Twilight's obsessive dynamic sold as romance. Stoicism promotes realism. Seneca's luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Prepare your heart for healthy love. Low self-esteem often roots in comparison culture. Instagram's highlight reels make us feel inadequate, leading to settling. Build Stoic self-worth through praxis acts of courage, like ending a toxic tie. Cognitive biases. Anchoring bias fixes us on first impressions, ignoring later red flags. Availability heuristic makes dramatic stories seem normal. Challenge with Stoic logic. Daily review what went well, what didn't. In U.S. context, generational shifts matter. Millennials and Gen Z facing economic uncertainty. Delay marriage. Prolonging dating pitfalls. Stoicism's timelessness helps. Focus on eternal virtues over fleeting trends. To motivate, you've survived past hurts. That resilience is Stoic gold. Channel it forward. As Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In love. Be the good partner you seek. Building on our exploration of why you attract hurtful people, let's now uncover the hidden mechanisms that make it so hard to let go. The emotional illusions and biological reasons behind this toxic cycle. These aren't excuses for staying stuck. They're insights to empower you. As Stoics teach, true freedom comes from understanding the nature of things, both external and internal. Seneca once wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." In love, those imaginations manifest as illusions that cloud our judgment, fueled by biology that's designed for survival, not modern happiness. By dissecting them here, we'll arm you with the rational clarity Stoics prized, turning pain into a catalyst for growth. Remember, you're not a victim of your biology. You're its master through disciplined thought and action. Let's peel back the layers, blending science with Stoic wisdom to illuminate the path forward. First, let's tackle the emotional illusions, the mental tricks that make toxic love feel irresistible. One of the most pervasive is the sunk cost fallacy, where we invest more in a failing relationship because we've already poured in time, energy, and emotion. It's like holding on to a losing stock, hoping it rebounds. Even as evidence mounts against it, psychologically, this stems from loss aversion, a bias identified by Nobel laureates Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, showing we hate losses more than we value equivalent gains. In the U.S., where hustle culture glorifies perseverance, this illusion traps many in dead-end romances. You think, "I've given so much. Walking away now would waste it all." But Stoicism flips the script. Epictetus advised, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Accept the loss as a lesson, not a defeat." By reframing sunk costs as investments in self-knowledge, you free yourself to pursue healthier bonds. Another illusion is the halo effect, where one positive trait, like physical attractiveness or charisma, blinds us to flaws. That initial spark creates a glow that overshadows red flags, making us idealize the person. Evolutionary psychology suggests this ties back to mate selection, where quick judgments favored survival. But in today's world of curated online profiles, it leads to disillusionment. Consider Lisa, a 5-year-old entrepreneur from San Francisco who fell for a partner's wit and ambition, ignoring their manipulative tendencies. Months in, the halo faded, revealing emotional abuse. Stoics counter this with objective judgment. Marcus Aurelius urget, "Look things in the face and know them for what they are." Practice daily reflection. List traits factually, without emotion, to pierce the illusion. The illusion of scarcity plays a big role too. We fear that this hurtful person is our last chance at love. especially in a society where dating apps promise abundance but deliver exhaustion. This scarcity mindset amplifies attachment, making us cling tighter. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows perceived mate scarcity increases commitment to poor relationships. But Stoicism teaches abundance through inner resources. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Cultivate self-sufficiency through hobbies, friendships, and personal goals, and scarcity loses its grip. Now, shifting to biology, let's explore how our bodies betray us in toxic love. At the core is dopamine, the reward neurotransmitter that surges during infatuation, creating euphoria akin to drug highs. In healthy relationships, it stabilizes. In toxic ones, the unpredictability fights, followed by makeups, causes erratic spikes. Mimicking addiction. Neuroscientist Helen Fisher, in her TED Talks and books like Why We Love, explains how this activates the brain's reward circuits, much like cocaine. That's why breaking up feels like withdrawal, anxiety, cravings, even physical pain. In America, with rising rates of anxiety disorders affecting 40 million adults per the Anxiety and Depression Association, this biological hook exacerbates mental health struggles. Stoicism offers a remedy: voluntary discomfort. By practicing moderation, limiting contact during highs, you rewire your brain. Epictetus noted, "Freedom is acquired, not by the full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire." Start small. Delay responses to texts, using the pause to reflect on long-term well-being. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, adds another layer. Released during intimacy, it fosters trust and attachment. But in toxic dynamics, it bonds us to abusers. Studies from Paul Zach's lab at Claremont Graduate University show oxytocin can blind us to negative cues, explaining why victims of domestic violence return. Biologically, this evolved for child rearing and group cohesion, but it backfires in modern mismatches. Stoics emphasize discernment. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals and which are not, said Epictetus. Separate hormonal urges from rational choice. Journal about behaviors, not feelings. Cortisol, the stress hormone, complicates things further. Toxic relationships keep us in chronic fight or flight, elevating cortisol, which impairs judgment and weakens immunity. A study in psychoneuroendocrinology linked high cortisol in rocky romances to poorer decision-making, yet the adrenaline rush from drama can feel exhilarating, creating a trauma bond. In the fast-paced U.S. lifestyle, where stress is normalized, this biology makes toxicity addictive. Stoic practices like negative visualization, imagining loss beforehand, build resilience. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. Begin each day by telling yourself, "Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence." Extend it to love. Visualize the pain of staying versus the peace of leaving, normalizing biology's pull without succumbing. Serotonin dips in obsession, leading to rumination, endless thoughts about the partner. This mirrors OCD patterns, per Fisher's research. Low serotonin fuels jealousy and fixation, common in anxious attachments. Stoicism counters with mindfulness. Focus on the present, Seneca advised. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Meditate on virtues, wisdom over worry to boost serotonin naturally. Evolutionary mismatches explain much. Our brains evolved in small tribes where bonds were lifelong. Now, with endless options, biology clashes with reality. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar's number, around 150 meaningful relationships, highlights overload in digital dating, leading to shallow, hurtful connections. Stoically, embrace amor, fati, love of fate. Accept biological wiring as part of human nature, but transcend it through reason. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Interweaving illusions and biology. The illusion of control, thinking you can change them, pairs with dopamine's promise of reward. Scarcity illusion amplifies oxytocin's bond." Recognizing this synergy is key. Practical steps. Track moods post-interaction to spot biological patterns. Use Stoic journaling. What illusion am I buying? What biology is at play? How can virtue guide me? In U.S. context, where biotech and wellness industries boom, blend science with Stoicism apps for hormone tracking, therapy for illusions. But true change is internal. You're wired for connection, but not suffering. By understanding these forces, you dismantle them. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Master your emotions and biology. Healthier love awaits. Delving deeper into dopamine's role, functional MRI studies from Rutgers University reveal that viewing a loved one's photo activates the ventral tegmental area, flooding the brain with dopamine. In toxic cases, the uncertainty heightens this. PER variable reward schedules in behavioral psychology. Think Skinner's rats pressing levers unpredictably. This explains ghosting reappearing cycles on dating apps, prevalent in urban U.S. hubs like New York. Stoically, counter with habituation. Expose yourself gradually to absence, building tolerance. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus quipped, "Endure withdrawal for growth." On oxytocin, a 2019 study in Nature Neuroscience showed it reduces amygdala activity, dampening fear responses, which is why we forgive too easily. In abusive dynamics, this creates a false sense of safety. Practice stoic indifference. Detach from outcomes. Care about things only in proportion to their worth. Seneca counseled, cortisol's chronic elevation leads to hippocampal shrinkage, impairing memory and learning, making it harder to recall past hurts accurately. Another illusion. Combat with stoic exercises. Morning routines of gratitude, focusing on controllables. Serotonin's link to status. In toxic love, feeling chosen boosts it temporarily, but rejection crashes it. Build intrinsic serotonin through achievements. Evolutionary perspective. Mismatch theory by Leda Cosmides and John Tooby explains why ancient adaptations fail. Now, hypergamy instincts drive us to high-value but unstable partners. Stoicism's universality, applicable across cultures, but in America, pair with therapy for holistic healing. More steps. Biohacking like exercise releases endorphins healthily. Mindfulness apps train illusion, spotting, motivational close. Your biology is ancient. Your mind is timeless. Harness stoic reason to evolve beyond it. Consider endorphins in reconciliation. Sex, reinforcing bonds post-conflict. Or vasopressin in men, promoting possessiveness that turns toxic. Mirror neurons make us empathize with partners' pain, trapping us in codependency. Stoic anecdotes. Seneca endured betrayal, yet advised calm. Apply to biology. View hormones as impressions, not truths. Modern examples. Celebrities like those in high-profile breakups show universal struggles. Use them to motivate. If they can heal, so can you. Ultimately, illusions and biology aren't enemies. They're teachers. Embrace the Stoic call. Transform weakness into strength. We've uncovered the why, the attractions, illusions, and biology that trap us in toxic love. Now, it's time for the transformation. How Stoicism helps you wake up from this cycle and step into a life of emotional sovereignty. This isn't about quick fixes or suppressing your heart. It's about harnessing ancient wisdom to build unshakable resilience. Make wiser choices and love in a way that honors your virtue. As Marcus Aurelius reflected in his Meditations, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your past hurts. They're not roadblocks. They're the raw material for growth. In this section, we'll explore practical Stoic tools tailored for modern life in the United States, where busy schedules and digital distractions make self-reflection a radical act. By applying these, you'll not only break free but thrive, attracting relationships that uplift rather than undermine. Let's dive in, step by step, with real-world examples and actionable advice to ignite your inner Stoic. The foundation of Stoic awakening is the dichotomy of control, a core principle from Epictetus that divides life into what's up to us, our opinions, desire, and actions, and what's not others' behaviors, external events. In toxic love, we often waste energy trying to control a partner's moods or fidelity, leading to frustration. Instead, redirect focus inward. Start by auditing your relationships. Grab a journal and list what's truly in your power. For instance, you can't make someone commit, but you can choose to set boundaries or walk away. This shift empowers you, reducing the emotional roller coaster. Consider Emily, a 9-year-old nurse from Boston, entangled in a on-again, off-again relationship marked by jealousy and arguments. Applying the dichotomy, she realized her partner's unreliability was external, but her tolerance of it was internal. She began practicing daily. Today, I control my responses. Over weeks, this built clarity, leading her to end the cycle. Epictetus put it bluntly, if anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would certainly have mentioned them too. Translate this to love. When hurt arises, don't defend or retaliate. Examine your role and adjust. In America's high-stress healthcare world like Emily's, this tool prevents burnout, fostering calm amid chaos. Next, embrace premeditatio, malorum premeditation of evils. This Stoic exercise involves visualizing potential setbacks to prepare mentally, stripping away the shock of betrayal or rejection. In the morning, spend 5 minutes imagining scenarios. What if they cancel plans again? How will I respond with grace? This isn't pessimism, it's proactive resilience. Research from positive psychology, like that of Martin Seligman, shows such mental rehearsal reduces anxiety by normalizing challenges. For toxic love, use it to anticipate patterns. If you're drawn to dramatic partners, visualize the post-high crash and plan a healthy alternative, like calling a friend or exercising. Seneca advised, "He who is brave is free." By foreseeing pain, you free yourself from its grip. In the U.S., where mental health apps like Calm promote mindfulness, blend this with Stoicism. Set a phone reminder for evening reflection, asking, Did I prepare well today? Over time, this wakes you from autopilot, making hurtful attractions less alluring. Amor fati, or love of fate, is another powerful awakener. It means embracing everything that happens, even heartbreak, as necessary for your development. Instead of resenting exes who hurt you, view them as teachers revealing your blind spots. Marcus Aurelius embodied this. Despite ruling an empire fraught with wars and personal losses, he wrote, "To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony." In modern dating, this means accepting a breakup not as failure, but as redirection toward better alignment. Apply it practically. After a hurtful interaction, affirm, "This is for my growth." Journal 3 lessons learned, perhaps recognizing codependency or valuing solitude. For someone like Jake, a 3-4-year-old software engineer in Seattle, recovering from a manipulative ex, amor fati, transformed bitterness into gratitude. He realized the pain honed his self-reliance, leading to hobbies like hiking that rebuilt his confidence. In a tech-driven culture where failures are stigmatized, this stoic love of fate fosters innovation in personal life, turning "why me" into "what now?" Stoic journaling, inspired by Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, is a daily ritual for self-examination. Each evening, review your day. What attractions arose? Dichotomy's illusions. How can I align with virtue tomorrow? Focus on the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, discerning healthy love; courage, ending toxicity; justice, treating yourself fairly; and temperance, moderating emotions. This practice rewires neural pathways. Pair neuroplasticity studies, replacing toxic habits with mindful ones. Make it actionable. Use prompts like, "Today, I felt drawn to person behavior. Is this based on reality or fantasy?" Over months, patterns emerge, empowering change. In the diverse U.S. landscape, where journaling apps like Day One are popular, this Stoic version adds depth, promoting ethical living over mere venting. Voluntary discomfort, or ascesis, builds toughness by intentionally facing mild hardships. To wake from toxic love, practice solitude. Spend evenings alone without texting exes, or delete dating apps for a week. This exposes dependency, strengthening independence. Epictetus, a former slave, lived this. Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater. Start small. Skip the comfort of binge-watching to reflect, then scale to saying no to unhealthy invitations. In America's consumerist society, where instant gratification reigns, this counters addiction like bonds. A study from the University of Pennsylvania links discomfort practices to greater life satisfaction. For toxic love sufferers, it means tolerating loneliness to discover self-love. The true antidote: perspective taking, viewing life from a cosmic scale. Diminish drama. Stoics like Seneca urged imagining the vastness of time. Life is long if you know how to use it. A hurtful partner. In the grand scheme, they're a blip. Visualize from above. Your pain is temporary. Focus on eternal virtues. Practically, during emotional lows, step outside literally and gaze at the sky, reminding yourself of impermanence. This view from above technique, modernized in cognitive behavioral therapy, reduces rumination. Community and role models amplify awakening. Stoics valued wise associations. Seek mentors or groups practicing these principles. In the U.S., join online Stoic forums or read biographies like Ryan Holiday's works. Surround yourself with people embodying healthy love. As Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you. Finally, integrate these into a routine: morning premeditation, daily dichotomy checks, evening journaling. Consistency breeds mastery. You're not erasing emotions, but directing them wisely. As Seneca noted, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. Waking up means choosing virtue over victimhood. You've got the tools, now act. Your Stoic self is emerging stronger, wiser, ready for authentic connection. Let's deepen the dichotomy application in dating. Control your profile honesty, but not matches responses. Practice role-play conversations, asserting needs. Epictetus' Enchiridion offers scripts. Adapt to love. En préméditation. Extend to biology. Forésie dopamine crashes. Plan serotonin boosters like sunlight walks. U.S. Specific. Amid work stress. Intégrate during commute. Amor fati in action. Rewrite narratives. This rejection saved me from mismatch. Frankel's logotherapy echoes, meaning in suffering. Journaling advanced. Track triggers. Rate virtue alignment. 1-10. Apps integration. Use Notion for Stoic templates. Voluntary discomfort ladder. Level 1. Silent meals. Level 2. Solo trips. Level 2. Confronting patterns. Therapy aided. Perspective. Hubble images for cosmic humility. CBT links. Challenge. Distortions. Community. Stoican events. Reddit's RS Stoicism for love advice. Routine sample. 7-day plan. Day 1. Dichotomy map. Day 7. Full review. Benefits. Harvard studies show Stoic practices improve well-being. Motivate. You're architect of your fate. With expansion, this empowers viewers fully. As we wrap up this deep dive into why you keep loving people who hurt you and how Stoics break the cycle, let's pause and reflect on the journey we've taken together. From the introduction's stark recognition of that exhausting emotional loop to uncovering the psychological attractions, in Part 2, the illusions and biology fueling them, in Part 3, and the practical Stoic tools for awakening. In Part 4, it's clear that toxic love isn't a life sentence. It's a call to action, an opportunity to wield the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca in your everyday battles. You've seen how familiarity, attachment styles, dopamine highs, and sunk cost fallacies conspire to keep you chained. But more importantly, you've discovered the keys to freedom, the dichotomy of control, to focus your energy wisely, premeditatio malorum, to build unyielding resilience, amor fati, to embrace every twist as growth, and daily journaling, to align with virtues like wisdom and courage. These aren't abstract ideas. They're battle-tested strategies that have empowered emperors and everyday folks alike to rise above suffering. Remember, Stoicism isn't about numbing your heart or pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about mastering your inner world so the outer chaos loses its power. In a country like the United States, where the pursuit of happiness is enshrined in our founding documents, yet elusive amid rising divorce rates, mental health challenges, and the swipe-right culture of instant gratification, this philosophy shines as a beacon. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from chasing the perfect partner, but from becoming the best version of ourselves. As Epictetus profoundly stated, no greater thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. You're awakening from toxic love. It's ripening now. Through patient practice and deliberate choice, think back to the stories we've shared. Sarah, breaking free from emotional unavailability. Alex releasing his savior complex. Emily reclaiming her responses. Jake turning pain into purpose. These aren't anomalies. They're what happens when you apply Stoic principles consistently. You've learned that emotional illusions like the halo effect or scarcity mindset are just that, illusions dispelled by rational examination. Biologically, the dopamine rushes and oxytocin bonds that mimic addiction can be tamed through voluntary discomfort and perspective-taking, rewiring your brain for healthier patterns. And with tools like the view from above, you see your struggles in cosmic context, temporary waves in an eternal ocean, not defining storms. But knowledge alone isn't enough. Transformation demands action. Stoicism thrives on praxis, living the philosophy, not just pondering it. So, here's your call to action. Start today. Pick one tool from this video, the dichotomy of control, perhaps, and apply it to your current or past relationships. Journal tonight. What can I control? What must I release? Commit to a week of premeditation each morning, visualizing challenges and your virtuous responses. Embrace amor fati by reframing a recent hurt as a necessary lesson. Join a community, whether online forums or local meetups, to share your progress and draw strength from others on the path. And if you're ready for deeper immersion, subscribe to LABE Stoic for more videos on applying ancient wisdom to modern woes, from career stress to personal growth. Share your story in the comments below. What's one Stoic principle you'll use to break your cycle? Have you already experienced a breakthrough? Your insights could inspire someone else watching this, trapped in the same loop. Like and share this video to spread the empowerment, because in a world quick to sell fairy tales, Stoicism offers real liberation. As Seneca wisely counseled, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. Invest in yourself now. The returns are a life of peace, purpose, and genuine connection. You've made it this far not by accident, but by a spark of inner strength that's uniquely Stoic. Nurture it. The cycle ends when you decide it does. Wake up, step forward, and live deliberately. You're empowered. Resilient future isn't a dream. It's the reality you're building, one virtuous choice at a time. Thank you for joining us at LABE Stoic. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember, the obstacle is the way,